scary thought.
There's no pretend in when you're hosting whatsoever.
Yeah, there really isn't, and there's no script, and it's about how you deal with people. And a lot of actors, we're not necessarily great with people. Some are, some aren't. Some are very shy. I actually think of myself as shy, if you can believe it or not. So I'm always trying to compensate for that, and it's easier in an acting role because you can hide behind things. Mm-hmm. Characters,
Yeah, well, and that's so true. I mean, because you do have a script to follow, so you pretty much know what the next move's going to be. But when you're having to go off the hip, and it's interesting that you would say a lot of actors are shy because I know just from being in this business that it is interesting some of the responses you'll get sometimes that people they will get in front of the camera and act all day long, but when it comes to, like doing an interview or having to be themselves where they don't have that character, it is a little different animal, and it's a lot more stressful, because there is no script. So
right.
It does, it's quite challenging. But now, one thing I wanted to ask you, and I have to get your take on this, is that, as you know, Prospect Park is unveiling. AMC, they're resurrecting that, and One Life to Live, and I'm very excited for those two soaps and for that company. And what are your thoughts on that? As far as I'm hoping that's going to kind of help bring daytime back to the place, that at least as close to where it used to be as possible.
Well, here's the thing. I am not as worried about daytime as other people are, and I think it was a terrible shame to take that show off the air, and One Life to Live off the air. That is a shame. Not just because it put a lot of my friends out of work, and I love to see everybody working, but those are legacy shows, and they made a lot of people. They warmed a lot of people's hearts, as did the characters. Mm-hmm. I say I'm not worried because I always felt like they would come back in another form. And to me, soap operas have been around since the beginning of time, with Greek tragedies and Shakespeare, and even our nighttime shows are all in soap operas. So I knew that they, in my humble, guesstimation, is that soap operas would come back in another incarnation, and that's already happening. And I hope that Prospect Park does it well. And they've got, the huge chance takers, and I love that about this company, and I love that they're bringing these shows back. And you know what? They're going to get eyeballs. And Hulu, if that's the company that's going to do it, I think they're going to see some significant success from this. And I'll tell you what, it's not always who does it first, but who does it best. And so if they have to cut the terrain with the machete through the web and the World Wide Web and bring a soap opera. It's one of the first television shows that's being brought from network television to the web, as opposed to a show being birthed on the web and then going on to cable or network television, which there's an example of that on the Sci-Fi Network, and I'm sure there's others that I don't know about. But the web is a very real place. It's the wild, wild west still. And I have highest expectations and hopes for Prospect Park to do an amazing job, and I know they're getting amazing players to step up, and it's all about that, and it's all about the script. It's still all about the writing, and it's still all about the story, and it needs to be compelling, and that's my wish for them. I know you're probably going to ask me if I'm going to be a part of it, and all I can say is at this moment in time, I'm lucky enough to have a series, and I would go over there any time and help them propel story and do whatever I could to help them, because that's my family. And just the way that people came out towards at the end of All My Children and characters from yesteryear, and they came out. I was, Josh Jamal was there, Sarah Gellar, Michelle Gellar, and I'm not comparing myself to those people. They have amazing careers going, but I'm comparing myself to the same feeling that they had in their heart, that there's no way that they wouldn't go and just do that show. So I would be there 1,000%, any time that they want me to be there and to help promote the show, help propel the story. I had a great time there. I really did, and I want nothing but the best for everybody. I want all my friends to be working, and I want that show to live on.
Well, and I think you probably, I don't know if you can hear all the AMC fans screaming at the top of their lungs at hearing you say that, and because I know that means a lot. But yeah, I mean, the way the web is evolving and the way web series are really starting to take off, then I have no doubt that Prospect Park is I think on the cusp of something big with this, because I think the whole YouTube generation is really exploding into something bigger than even probably what those creators of that channel dreamed of when they started it. So it's really evolving into I think the next big thing in the world of World Wide Web social media kind of thing.
Well, the beautiful thing is too that it's going to give birth to other shows and other soap operas. And they'll have the ability to be able to do maybe a soap opera that's live, and just the way that regular daytime started out, or regular television did, because it's cheaper, it's faster, and anything can happen. And that's what would make you tune in at a certain time on the web, when you can go there anytime and watch something that's been cataloged. Well, something live would, like Dark Shadows used to be. A light falls down, a set falls over, they're going to keep going no matter what. And I'll tell you, actors can do it. They can pull it off. They can do it live, just like the award shows, just like the news, just like whatever. So why not a drama? And so I believe that'll be next. And things like projects like this, Prospect Park, bringing all my children and One Life to Live back to life and on the web, are going to trailblaze the way for such projects. So I think it's fantastic.
Well, and I just have to say, I grew up a CBS soap girl, and I love Guiding Light. And when As the World Turns, the Guiding Light went off the air, I'm sitting here now, watching all this news coming out about Prospect Park and all the things that's happening and what's about to happen. And I'm sitting here holding my breath, and I'm hoping Procter & Gamble sits up and takes notice, because this could potentially be a good thing for them. I would love to see that happen. And so naturally I'm going to hope for that and hope that it does. It would be awesome.
Well, Procter & Gamble, who in many ways, built a platform using soap operas as their vehicle, their vessel, really got maximized their exposure with daytime and soap, selling soap, on soap operas. And all they need to be shown is a new proven entity and a new way of selling. And I think, of course, they would come to the party. So they just need to deliver a really good product. And I believe that they probably will, And then the Procter & Gamble's or the Unilever, all these companies should come to the table, because that's the good thing. The thing about cable TV is they make their monies from subs, right? So HGTV or TNT or ANC. If we get cable TV for our $50 a month or whatever it is, we're going to get those channels for free. But those channels are getting a couple of dollars from Comcast or whoever your cable carrier is, because you're giving them content. So those networks are making money, and they're flush with cash. If you're doing a show on the web, you're only going to be making money off advertising for now, or embedded TV commercials or what have you. Like we go to YouTube and we have to watch a 15-second spot on Kit Kat bars before we watch the video of the guy falling off his trampoline. So they're still trying to see how you can make the most amount of money from advertising. And of course, I'm already probably behind on the knowledge, because it changes every single day. So if you're funded like a Prospect Park, you have a little bit of time to figure it out. And not everybody can pull off what they've pulled off, being able to have a budget to make a show and trying to recoup as much. This is all the business end of it, and it fascinates me. That's why I brought it up. It fascinates me, because how else do you make money on the Internet? You just need a really good product, and you need people to lay down some money for advertising. So I think right off the bat they'll have really good ratings, and people revisiting the stuff or watching their favorite clip over and over, or their favorite show.
Yeah, so, because even on mainstream television, you can't necessarily do that. You can go and watch it, on the web now, like the next day for primetime soaps. You know, you can see the episode the next day that aired the day before kind of thing. But the web is really going to transform that, I think. It's really going to make it, you know, readily accessible, like you said, anytime, day or night, 24/7.
Yeah, you know,
for anyone who wants to go see it. Mm-hmm.
It's happening right now, and you know, if we played this conversation back in 2 years, we'd laugh, because it's like when, you know, whoever was on the news, like, and they were talking about Facebook or Twitter, or, you know, for the first time it came out, not knowing what they're really talking about. There's like, there's a little @ symbol before the name. I don't know what that is. You know, we're going to laugh at this conversation because they'll have it all figured out. As we're speaking, you know, the software is already you know, doubling and tripling. So it'll be fun to see what happens. Really fun.
That is so comical, because that is so true. I mean, I just remember in the last year I've really kind of gotten into Twitter, because before, you know, I was like, what is Twitter? It just makes no sense to me. And now I'm kind of sort of addicted to it. I think I need a 12-step program or something. But it's, you know, but seriously, it's, you know, it is amazing how it has just, the whole social media world has just caught fire. And there's just so many things you can do on social media now, from, you know,
well, that's what our whole show, that's what Spontaneous Construction is all about, by the way. It's a whole social media-driven show. And all I can tell you is what I love about daytime fans more than anything is how loyal they are. And just from tweeting from the set of a show that's not even on TV yet, from the set of Spontaneous Construction, all summer, which took me 4 months to shoot, I got over 100,000 Twitter followers. And those are just the folks, I believe, that either watched one of the 4 daytime shows that I did, or whatever else I did. And I mean, that's loyalty to me. And all I can hope is that they enjoy this show. And there's never really been a show like this ever. And we've heard other people go on Letterman or Leno or whatever, Jimmy Kimmel or whoever, and say that to promote something, but there really hasn't. And this show, first of all, I get the people off social media, off the web, that are participants, that are our subjects. They answer an ad for it could be any real estate show, any home design show, any, you know, home improvement show. They don't know what show what they're really answering, because we're always incognito on the web. But we get our participants off the internet, and then we get the people that are going to come and save the day also off social media. And so there's never been a better time, because we all need to help each other. We've all been through a rough time the last couple of years, work-wise, financially, every way, you know, from every way, 6 ways from Sunday. It's been really tough, and I don't know who that doesn't apply to, because if it didn't affect you at home in the last 2 years, our economy, then you're like Teflon, you know, or you're like titanium. What's that song? You know, I am titanium. Then you are titanium. I don't know how you avoided not getting hurt somehow. So we need to help each other. Like, it's love thy neighbor time. It's now, it takes a village to help each other. And that's basically the theme of this show. So imagine if you were having an issue at home with your home, and you let somebody know about it, and then that somebody shows up with 150 people strong to help you make it right over the next 2 or 3 days. That's what we're all about at this. On Spontaneous Construction.
So I think it's pretty safe to say that those who view it will be. It's going to be probably a tearjerker. I imagine there's going to be some good tender moments and feel good moments, which I love shows like that. So I'm glad that you are doing this.
Well, I'm blessed. It's definitely the show's got a lot of heart, and the thing that I like about it the most too, or one of the things I like about it the most, is there's a lot of takeaway on the show. There's a lot of. I've always enjoyed transformation and all that show, everything from The Biggest Loser to Extreme Home Makeover to whatever it is. I like to learn something. Even when I watch the History Channel, I like to learn stuff. I get bored. I like to learn stuff. And I never leave one of these episodes without teaching you how to do something at home, and that you can do it, and it's actually a lot of fun, and you can save a bundle, you know, or you can do something less expensive and just, you know, like a project. And so don't be scared to take it on, because honestly, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So I really feel that way, and it's about how you deliver that. And by the way, we have music, and it's the coolest. It's the coolest thing when a bunch of people come, because they're entertaining as well. It's just a lot of there's a lot of, besides tears, there's a lot of